In the 1970s, the streets of California shimmered with sun, freedom, and possibility. But beneath that golden glow, something dark was moving. It starts with a smile, a flash of the camera, a stranger's face, frozen forever. He called himself a photographer, a man who could make anyone look beautiful, even moments before they disappeared. No one suspected the charming stranger behind the lens, not the women he approached in broad daylight, not the casting directors who praised his confidence, not even the television producers who invited him onto the dating game, while bodies were already piling up in his shadow. His name was Rodney Alcala, a man so intelligent he toyed with investigators, so manipulative he walked free more than once, and so sadistic that what he did to his victims would leave seasoned detectives haunted for decades. Behind every photograph he took, there was a story. Some ended with a smile, others with a scream. They called him the dating game killer. But this story goes far beyond a game. It's a journey into the mind of a man who blurred the line between beauty and brutality, and captured both through the cold eye of his camera. To understand the terror of Rodney Alcala, you have to go back to the beginning. Born in San Antonio, Texas in 1943, Rodney James Alcala seemed like any other bright, curious child. He had a sharp mind, a charming smile, and a darkness that no one could see coming. By his teenage years, that charm had turned into manipulation, and soon, that intelligence, once his greatest gift, became his deadliest weapon. After joining the US Army, Alcala's behavior began to unravel. He deserted his post, fled across the country, and enrolled in film school under a fake name, right under the nose of one of America's most famous filmmakers, Roman Polanski. But it was in Los Angeles, the city of dreams, where Alcala would begin his nightmare. Using his good looks and his camera, he lured young women and children into trusting him. He promised portraits, modeling opportunities, stardom. But what they got was something far different. In 1968, an 8-year-old girl was found assaulted and left for dead. The man responsible vanished, his identity unknown. That man was Rodney Alcala. Over the next decade, he would change cities, change names, and continue killing. Each time smarter, colder, and more confident. Even when police arrested him, even when he stood trial, he manipulated the system, representing himself, charming jurors, confusing witnesses. He turned the courtroom into his stage, and the law into his game. But no performance lasts forever. And when detectives finally opened the box of photographs he left behind, hundreds of portraits of women and girls, their identities still unknown, the full scale of his crimes began to unfold. The story of Rodney Alcala isn't just about murder. It's about deception, about the terrifying truth that a killer can hide in plain sight, behind a smile, behind a camera, and behind the perfect disguise of normalcy. Before he became the monster the world would come to fear, Rodney Alcala was just another boy, born in 1943 in San Antonio, Texas, to what seemed like a normal family. But normal never lasts forever. When he was 8, his father walked out, leaving behind a silence that would soon fill with something darker. His mother moved the family to Los Angeles, and that's where the cracks began to show. Rodney was different, clever, manipulative, and disturbingly calm. Teachers saw potential, classmates saw charm, but even as a child, there was something cold about his stare, a lack of empathy, a fascination with control. At 17, Alcala joined the US Army. He served as a clerk, but soon after, everything began to unravel. He suffered what doctors described as a nervous breakdown. Some say it was the moment the mask started to slip. Army psychiatrists diagnosed him with antisocial personality disorder, a chilling condition marked by deceit, lack of remorse, and an ability to mimic emotions he didn't truly feel. He was discharged, but not cured. After leaving the army, Alcala studied film at NYU under one of Hollywood's most controversial filmmakers, Roman Polanski. A fitting irony, A man obsessed with beauty, learning from another surrounded by tragedy. But Alcala wasn't studying film to tell stories. He was learning to create illusions, to hide in plain sight, to manipulate angles, light, and perception. And that same skill would soon help him blend into society. Even as he descended into violence, behind his camera, he felt powerful, in control, and for the first time, unstoppable. The next time his name appeared in a police report, it wouldn't be for a breakdown, it would be for something far worse. September 25th, 1968. The morning sun hung low over Los Angeles, warm, bright, and innocent, just like the little girl walking to school that day. Her name was Tali Shapiro, 8 years old. A stranger in a shiny car slowed beside her, a man with long dark hair, an easy smile, and a camera slung over his shoulder. He told her he knew her parents. He told her he wanted to show her some cool photos. And in a moment of misplaced trust, Tali got in the car. He told her he knew her parents. He told her he wanted to show her some cool photos. And in a moment of misplaced trust, Tali got in the car. Minutes later, that same car pulled into a small Hollywood apartment complex. The door closed. And what happened next would haunt detectives for the rest of their lives. By chance, fate, maybe, a witness saw Tali enter the apartment and felt something wasn't right. He called police. When officers arrived, they knocked. No answer. They kicked the door down and found something out of a nightmare. Tali lay on the floor, beaten, strangled, unconscious. Her small body barely alive. Blood pooled beside her, and the man responsible was gone. Rodney Alcala had vanished, slipping through alleys, blending into the California crowd like a ghost. For years, detectives would carry that image, a dying child, a missing suspect, with no name, no trace. But Alcala wasn't hiding in fear. He was evolving. He fled to New York, changed his name, enrolled at film school, and started over. A new city, a new identity, the same darkness. That little girl survived, but the man who tried to kill her was just getting started. In New York City, the streets never stopped moving. Millions of faces, endless noise, constant motion. And somewhere in that crowd, a killer was learning how to disappear. Under a new name, John Berger, Rodney Alcala enrolled in film school at NYU, even studying under director Roman Polanski, whose own life had already been scarred by tragedy. To everyone around him, Alcala was charismatic, confident, even magnetic. He spoke of art, of beauty, of human emotion. He carried his camera everywhere he went, but behind every portrait he took, there was something unsettling. He didn't just capture faces, he studied them, calculated them, as if each photograph wasn't art, but evidence. In his lens, women weren't models. They were prey. When an FBI agent finally tracked him down in 1971, Alcala was living comfortably in New York, working at a summer camp for girls, surrounded by children. The same man who had nearly killed an 8-year-old 3 years earlier was now teaching photography to more. He was arrested, extradited to California, and charged for the Tali Shapiro attack, but without her family's testimony, too traumatized to relive the nightmare. The full weight of justice slipped through the cracks. Alcala served just a few years, then walked free. Free to move, free to charm, free to hunt. And when he returned to Los Angeles, he came back with a new plan, one that would make him untouchable. This time, he wasn't just taking photographs. He was building a portfolio of death. In 1978, Los Angeles was glowing with glitz, disco, and dreams. In a television studio on Sunset Boulevard, the lights dimmed, the audience hushed, and the host's voice echoed across America. Welcome to The Dating Game, a popular show where bachelors competed for love and a chance at fame. That night, bachelor number 1 was charming, handsome, confident. His name, Rodney Alcala. The audience laughed. The Bachelorette giggled. He cracked jokes, flirted, even winked at the crowd. No one knew that, off camera, that same man had already taken lives. That his charm wasn't charisma, it was camouflage. As the questions continued, his answers grew strange, laced with double meanings, hints of the predator beneath the smile. When the show ended, the woman chose him, but after meeting him backstage, she refused to go on the date. Later, she said something about him felt off. He gave me the creeps. That decision may have saved her life. While America laughed at a game show, Alcala returned to the streets, camera in hand, hunting again. Detectives would later look back at that moment, a killer smiling under studio lights, as the perfect symbol of his deception. Millions saw his face. No one saw the monster, and as the laughter faded, the killing escalated. After the dating game, Rodney Alcala was unstoppable. He walked the streets of Los Angeles with a camera around his neck and death in his mind. His favorite places, beaches, parks, and modeling spots, places where beauty lived, and where no one questioned a man with a camera. He approached his victims with confidence, smooth voice, gentle eyes, soft smile. "You're beautiful," he'd say. "I'm a photographer. You'd be perfect for my portfolio." Some said no, some said yes. The ones who said yes never knew it would be their last photograph. He'd gain their trust, take pictures, laugh, make them comfortable. But when the shutter clicked for the final time, his tone would change. The laughter would stop. The predator would emerge. His victims, women and teenage girls, were strangled, beaten, and posed like broken dolls. He toyed with them, revived them, and killed them again, just to feel control. Investigators later said his crimes weren't just murders. They were performances, acts of domination and obsession, played out like twisted scenes in his private world. He took trophies, earrings, lockets, photographs, fragments of the lives he ended. Between 1977 and 1979, at least 7 women vanished, but police suspected many more. The victims' names tell a story of innocence lost. Ellen Jane Hover, Jill Barcombe, Georgia Wickstead, Charlotte Lamb, Jill Parenteau. Different cities, same pattern, same cruelty. By day, Alcala was the handsome photographer with an artistic soul. By night, he was a ghost, striking without warning, vanishing without trace. He was intelligent, meticulous, and eerily calm. And every time he got away, he became bolder, crueler, more convinced that no one could stop him. But in 1979, that illusion would finally start to crack. By 1979, the illusion was beginning to shatter. Police across California were comparing notes, the same patterns, the same brutality, the same mysterious photographer. But it would take one final murder to expose the man behind the camera, Robin Samsoe, 12 years old, a little girl riding her bike to ballet class in Huntington Beach, last seen talking to a man with a camera. Days later, her remains were found in the foothills near Los Angeles. The description given by witnesses was chillingly familiar. Tall, long hair, charming, photographer. This time, detectives had a name, Rodney Alcala. When police searched his storage locker, what they found froze them in place. Hundreds of photographs, women, children, smiling, posing. Most were unidentified. Some were already dead, each picture a ghost trapped in time. Alcala was arrested and charged with the murder of Robin Samsoe. But even behind bars, he played games. In court, he fired his lawyers and represented himself, turning his trial into a twisted performance. He cross-examined witnesses with the same calm tone he used to lure his victims. He smiled at jurors. He argued with prosecutors like it was a debate, not a murder trial. And for years, the legal battles dragged on. Convictions overturned, appeals filed, new trials ordered. Every time justice seemed close, Alcala found a way to delay it. Until 2010, more than 30 years after Robin Samsoe's death, new DNA evidence linked him to 4 more murders. The evidence was undeniable. The mask was gone. This time, there were no games left to play. Rodney Alcala was sentenced to death, his crimes finally laid bare for the world to see. But even in the end, one question remained: how many did he really kill? When the camera stopped flashing and the courtroom lights dimmed, one question still echoed through the years. Who was Rodney Alcala? And how did he fool so many for so long? To some, he was the charming photographer, handsome, witty, creative. To others, he was a monster who used beauty as bait and art as disguise. His story forced America to look closer at the people we trust, the faces we idolize, the strangers we let into our lives. Alcala proved that evil doesn't always hide in the dark. Sometimes, it stands right in front of you, smiling. Detectives who worked his case still describe him as one of the most manipulative killers they've ever seen. A man who lived two lives, perfectly balanced between charm and chaos. Even behind bars, he never showed remorse. He spoke in riddles. He smiled during interviews. He enjoyed the attention, as if every camera pointed his way was another chance to perform. Psychologists later described him as a narcissistic predator, a man who needed control more than he needed breath, and his crimes changed more than just lives. They changed the way law enforcement handled predators who blend in. Because if Rodney Alcala taught the world anything, it's that monsters don't always hide under the bed. Sometimes they hide behind the lens. In July of 2021, Rodney Alcala died alone in a California prison cell. No family, no friends, just the faint hum of fluorescent lights and the ghosts of the lives he took. To the world, his death marked the end of a case, but to the families of his victims, it was never truly over. Because how do you close a story when so many faces remain without names? The photographs he left behind still sit in evidence rooms, silent witnesses to the lives he stole. Each one a mystery, each one a haunting reminder that evil doesn't always wear a mask. For years, he hid behind charm, intelligence, and a camera, proving that the most terrifying monsters are not always the ones who lurk in the shadows, but the ones who walk beside us in daylight. His story is a portrait of deception, a reminder that trust can be deadly, and that sometimes the perfect smile hides the darkest soul. This was Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer, a man who turned beauty into a weapon and left behind a gallery of ghosts that will never stop staring back.